we have here coming from the UK, and this gets a little bit dark in places, everybody. So trigger
Ooh.
warning, trigger warning. So I'll read the title here. A 23-year-old drove 3 hours. Completely unnecessary part of the title here, by the way. You know, a 23-year-old drove 3 hours to rob a cannabis factory and ended up beaten to death. So yeah, this gets a little bit dark, everybody. It was completely unnecessary to say that he drove 3 hours. It just makes him out to be even more of a tool, really. Sorry. Anyway, we'll read through this. It says, under prohibition, and this is from vice.com as well, so they have the right kind of take about this. They get the same kind of perspective as us. You know, prohibition causes these problems. If it wasn't prohibited the way it is, then we wouldn't be seeing these problems. But under prohibition, violence around the UK's huge illegal cannabis cultivation industry is endemic as Albanian gangs expand weed farm operations to Wales. And this is another problem we have here in the UK, is the Albanian gangs. Before the Albanians, it was Romanians, and before the Romanians, it was Vietnamese. It's just different people coming over to the UK, starting up weed farms. And then if they're discovered growing the weed farms, they just fuck off back to their home country, and we never see anything of them again. So this is just a problem which just goes round and round. It'll be somebody else in the next 10 years. It'll be a different fucking country. But right now, it's Albanian gangs who are growing a shitload of weed in the UK. And when you buy cannabis from the street, these are the kind of gangs that you're usually funding. So grow your own, everybody. So I'll carry on with the article here. The killing of a 23-year-old would-be cannabis burglar by 3 drug gang members is a continuing sign of the pernicious effects of UK weed laws, experts told Vice World News. The beating to death of Tomaz, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Tomaz. It's like Thomas without the H, and it's got a Z on the end. And Waga, a young father from Albania in Cardiff, by 3 members of a crime gang also from Albania. So we have a young Albanian guy driven 3 hours to go and rob a crop from somebody who was also Albanian. What are the odds? Also from Albania is the latest deadly example of ongoing cannabis farm wars in the UK, exposed by Vice World News in 2021. The case also reveals the wholesale expansion into Wales of Albanian gangs who have already become major players in the illegal cannabis growing industry alongside the cocaine trade in England. Because English people love cocaine. We love our snow over here in the UK. In January 2021, Waga, a specialist cannabis farm burglar, so this must have been his job, with a previous conviction for breaking into weed factories. Okay. Travelled 3 hours in a car from London with accomplice Carl Davis and 2 other men after a tip-off about a 3-story illegal grow house packed with over 500 plants worth £120,000 in Newport Road, Cardiff. So he went with a couple of mates as well. Obviously, they ran off and left the friend to get beaten to death. Friends is what you can try and call them. But their attempt to steal the plants has thwarted because the grow was being guarded by Heisland Alage. And another word, everybody that have trouble pronouncing these kind of words, man. I'm really good at reading English words. I'm not really good, but good enough. But I'm difficult with other languages, so excuse me for my ignorance again. One of the gang's gardeners who was asleep in one of the rooms. So they've arrived there to try and steal the plants, and there was somebody asleep in the room. He raised the alarm when he was woken by the break-in, escaped, and alerted other members of the gang, included Josif Nushi and Mihal Dana, who rushed to the property to defend their crop as the burglars were wrapping up the plants in bed sheets. What were they doing? They were wrapping them. Did they take the bed sheets with them? And then they're wrapping up the plants, not going to chop them down. They must not have been ready for harvest or something. This clearly wasn't planned out properly. Waga was stamped, kicked, and beaten to death with a baseball bat and a brick by 3 of the men, who put his body in a car before dumping it in a nearby street. Davis was left badly injured but alive. After the assault, killers Nushi, Dana, and Alage fled to Albania before being extradited back to the UK after an international manhunt carried out by South Wales police. On Tuesday, Nushi and Dana were given life sentences for murder, while Alage was jailed for 10 years for manslaughter. Charges against the fourth Albanian, a teenager alleged to have attacked Wagga and Davis, were dropped due to lack of evidence. So, interesting, right? In court, Wagga's sister, Patricia, described her brother's murder as brutal and said the killers dumped his body like a bag of rubbish. Said Tomas had an entire life ahead of him, including a newborn son who is now fatherless. The event that unfolded on January 28, 2021 did not warrant my brother being killed, and no one deserves to have their life taken at the hands of another individual, or even worse, numerous individuals. Cannabis market violence is clearly a result of cannabis prohibition, not cannabis per se, says Steve Rolls, senior policy analyst for Transform Drug Policy Foundation. We simply don't see producers and retailers in legal cannabis markets being beaten to death, just as we don't see rival brewers or tobacconists killing each other. In October, 2 cannabis farm burglars were jailed for life after stabbing 21-year-old Albanian. Again, Albanian. It's like there's a gang war going on right now in the UK between Albanian gangs, man, because of the prohibition of cannabis. It's a fucking farce. But a 21-year-old Albanian, Renato Geci, to death while attempting to steal £100,000 of drugs from a house in West London in 2021. Police in Wales are increasingly finding cannabis farms run by organised crime groups from Albania. Last month, 3 Albanian nationals who took selfies in front of plants and holding wads of cash to their ears like phones were sentenced to 3 years after they were convicted of running a cannabis farm in a house in Neath near Swansea. 2 weeks earlier, another Albanian who said he had been trafficked in the back of a lorry and coerced into working in the weed factory after his family had been threatened back home was arrested at a house in Bridgend. In November, an Albanian man was arrested after a suburban house containing 250 weed plants was found in a village near Cardiff. So yeah, that's about enough for this news article. I'm sure it goes on, but you get the gist of it. What the fuck is going on, man? What are we still going to be dealing with this shit here in the UK? It's absolute fucking farce. We need to legalize and properly control this shit so people are not being beaten to death on the streets of the fucking UK, man. What the fuck?
Sorry, well, it sounded like this burglary was they were, I don't know, they're wrapping stuff up in bed sheets. I'm thinking, okay, they chopped the plants down whether they were ready or not. They're going to steal this stuff, go dry it and sell it because ready or not, it's mine now. So I mean, it's again another case of shit weed getting out from the black market, you know, all that kind of stuff like that. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
It is, man. It is. And as it said in that article there, this wouldn't be happening if it was properly regulated.
No, it wouldn't.
You know, I mean, gang warfare does happen. A Stonewall put there in the chat. That's just gang related. It's not related to prohibition, in my opinion. They wouldn't have this kind of market if it wasn't for prohibition. You know, they would be doing something else.
You wouldn't have the Albanian gangs competing for this grow if it was legal and everybody could do it. No, it wouldn't be a special deal anymore.
It's just shocking, man. I mean, do you get that shit in Canada, Marge?
No, we don't. Admittedly.
And it's legal over there. The Albanians aren't shooting each other?
No, not that I'm aware of anyway. But
what do you think, TG? Do you get any of this kind of trouble over there?
No, well, I don't know. Probably in some certain cases, but now it's more just like the legal people narking on each other for not following the fucking advertising rules and shit.
Different kind of gang warfare.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
But yeah, no.
But you know,
I don't know. I mean, the bikers, they still run a lot of shit. I know in like the West Coast and down in like the the traditional areas in the port of like Montreal and the St. Lawrence River kind of area. So probably there's still shit going on. I don't know. I'm not really up on.
There's got to be a massive reduction in it compared to what they used to be, though.
I'm sure. Yeah, you don't. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, you'd still do hear about shootings and stuff occasionally, especially in like BC. But I don't know. Again, I'm far away from that shit. So
yeah, you got 5 home growers here. You know, we don't usually do much with the legacy market.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So this is just another reason why you should be growing your own shit, man. And just try and stay away from that market altogether if you can. It's just dodgy. You have to go and put yourself in dodgy situations. You don't know where the money's going at the end of the day, who it's funding. Yeah, and it's tragic, man, that a 23-year-old guy has to be beaten to death in this way. It shouldn't have happened in the first place, man.
Although to me, it just sounds like a lesson in fuck around and finding out.
Yeah, you know that graph, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's level 8 fucking around, level 8 found out.
Yeah.
That's so good.
But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. But still.
Kind of weird in that story, you know, reading the part about, well, his sister stood up in court and was defending him in court and going like, but yeah, wasn't he breaking into a grow house and trying to steal weed? I understand.
Don't talk that way about the dead monkey. He was an upstanding pillar of the
He
community.
dead. He didn't deserve to die, but he wasn't a saint.
Exactly. That's it. He didn't deserve to die, man. Nobody deserves that shit. But you know, fuck around, find out, man. Don't go fucking burgling people's weed farms. And he drove 3 hours to do it as well. It's not like he was there by accident. You know, he planned.
Yeah, he had lots of time to think about that.
He knew the consequences when he stepped inside the fucking house. That was gonna. If you got caught, you think they're gonna slap you on the wrist and send you on your way?
Well, at least he'd been convicted before of weed burglary, you know, so he was a specialist. My gosh.
So let's do it again. Yeah, well, as
when you
Bubble
have
Hawk
that kind of a
said.
job description, you're going to have a few hazards in your life. I'm a weed burglar. No.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah, there ain't too many homegrowners getting beaten to death, is there? Like, let's be honest.
But it does happen, man. We have seen articles of that as well in the past. It's just crazy, and this is why it's important. You grow your own, and you keep your fucking mouth shut. You know,
Nobody is going to come to your house looking for it.
Keep your mouth shut, man. Follow the
Your
3
business,
rules.
nobody
Don't
else.
sell. Don't sell. Cover the smell. Nobody needs to know. Just do your thing. But tragic, you know. Let's try. If we can get shit regulated properly, I'm sure this wouldn't happen as much as it does. And we're just going to keep seeing a rise in this until the law changes. So
It'd bounce, Mackie. It'd be, you know, it'd be cocaine. It'd be
people trafficking
one,
will be
you
the
know.
next one. You know, that's what they all go to after cannabis gets shut down. But it's a dent, and it's a reduction in it, and that's what we want to see. Stone Wolf said Jim ran away. It's like, yeah, his friends ran away. Obviously, it's like, oh shit, run, and you just left your friend to get beaten to get death. Yeah, nice one, lads. But
It's like
anyway.
when you go scuba diving and you see a shark, so you stab your friend in the leg and swim off.
Yeah, it's the only way to survive.
Yeah.
That's what them Aussies
Sorry,
do.
bro.
Okay, I'm not going swimming down there the next time.
You know what I mean?
No way.
It's like they didn't hit him with the brick. His friend threw it at him. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas. Oh shit, savage. Sorry, everybody. Don't mean to be savage. It's Bubble Hawk is encouraging me. Very bad. But
Sorry.
yes. Moral of the story: fuck around, find out, legalize. Anyway, what should we do next?